Everyone glazes the Ultimate Universe. I'm here to be annoying about it. Everyone gushes over the new Ultimate Universe, especially Ultimate Spider-Man and the Ultimates, and rightfully so. They're awesome. Ultimates has delivered some of the best comics in the last decade. Issue 4, my beloved. But I think people might be glazing the Ultimate Universe a little too much. So now, I'm going to uneducatedly criticize the critically acclaimed universe. What could possibly go wrong? One of my biggest complaints with comic books in general, especially Spider-Man, is the clickbait covers. Ultimates doesn't do this as much, and I haven't read Ultimate Black Panther. Sorry, I did say this was an uneducated video. But I'm really tired of seeing a cover for Ultimate Spider-Man that has nothing to do with the actual story, other than maybe the character who appeared for 0.3 seconds. They got a little better with it recently, but early on, brutal. The Black Cat and Spider-Man cover especially annoyed me. She showed up for 2 seconds. I was distraught, to say the least. I know this isn't just an Ultimate Universe problem, it's a comic book problem. They need to sell books, and even though we say we don't, we do judge books by their covers. But I'm just tired of it. A good middle ground? Just give us a vague idea what the comic will be. The Christmas issue is a perfect example. Spider-Man and Christmas. Doesn't spoil anything, just tells you what the vibe is. That's it. You don't need to go into more detail, just give us a hint. And to their credit, they have been improving because more and more the issues are representing of what the actual story is. So, by the end of this video, this is not even going to be a complaint, and it's just going to be a nitpick. Which, honestly, most of this is a nitpick because, you know, the Ultimate Universe is awesome. I love Ultimates. The stories are amazing. Reed Richards' arc is the best Marvel comic in recent years, in my opinion. Ultimate She-Hulk, fantastic. The new Hawkeye Charlie is great. I love Iron Lad. Please give me an Ultimate Captain America run. But my biggest issue is also what makes this universe unique. It follows real time. Every issue takes place a month after the last. It's cool in theory, but in practice, it bugs me. Characters and arcs get introduced, then pushed to the background. Unless they're completely reimagined like She-Hulk or Hawkeye. It often feels like the books assume you already know them. America Chavez is a great example. She's introduced at the end of issue 2, then doesn't matter in the comics until the Guardians issue. Which, I don't care what anyone says, the Ultimate Guardians is fucking awful. It creates this weird effect where I genuinely can't remember when Human Torch was introduced. Even though it was just a few issues ago. That was still months ago. I'm sorry, I'm not retaining that issue unless I need to, and in order for me to need to, I need it to be followed up. We had one of my favorite issues with the Red Skull story recently. It was fantastic and honestly disturbing with Namor, and the issue was an amazing cliffhanger. Then we followed up with, hey guys, remember Thor? And while that gives the characters room to shine, it also makes me feel like I don't have to read the next issue, since it's probably not continuing the cliffhanger anyways. And yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man handles the real-time flow a lot better, but even then, I still feel like I miss a lot of time with the characters. Early on, Richard Parker was just non-existent in the story. And like, I get it, he didn't matter to the story until he got the symbiote. However, I feel like I missed a lot of time with this character, and just because he's Peter's kid, I just have to assume that I should care about him. This is especially so since the Ultimate Universe is so laser focused on the main story of the individual comic that characters don't matter until they serve the plot. And sure, that's a solution, but it's not a good one in my opinion. We can go multiple issues without acknowledging Richard or any of these other characters, and then suddenly we're back to acknowledging them as soon as they have a plot for them. Why introduce characters like Felicia Hardy and then only use her when the story wants her? And for Ultimates, why introduce characters like Charlie and giving them their own issues, only for Charlie to become a background character until the story requires them? I want to spend more time with these characters and I want to learn about them. The real time of the Ultimate comics is unique and it is interesting, I'm not denying that. However, I feel like we're missing a lot of time with these characters that could just be solved if we followed a normal stream of time like in comic books. I feel like we could have followed up that Red Skull issue immediately and then the next storyline on Thor, and yes, that would prolong this Maker storyline, but it would flush it out a lot more. I would get excited for the next issue because the next issue would still continue, and that's another thing. I recently bought volume 1 and 2 of Ultimate Spider-Man, and they're great. I love Ultimate Spider-Man. However, it doesn't feel like it's connected. I feel like I'm reading parts, I feel like I'm reading a life story, in a way. That's a bit of exaggeration, but it does feel like I'm reading a life story. I feel like I go from one part of his life to the next. And I don't know when these arcs end, because it doesn't feel like an arc. And that's just my complaint about it. I really just want to learn about these characters. I want to spend more time with these characters. Because I'm lonely. I'm so lonely. And there you have it. That is my nitpicks of the Ultimate Universe. It's a very small video, and honestly, there's not much to nitpick. But I just wanted to air that out because I've been holding that in for a while. I see everybody praise it, and nobody talks about how this issue by issue thing is just not ideal for storytelling, in my opinion. Obviously, and my opinion is probably wrong in general audiences. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're kind of back, we're kind of not, we're trying to work it out, alright? Also, the reason I'm in Minecraft is because I don't want to show my face. And I feel like for these videos, I gotta have something on screen, and I don't want to just have Spider-Man gameplay all the time, so yeah. I'm in Minecraft.